busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong, strong, strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imanis, less stress on the economy. You and Manchester hold up the country. You didn't see us down by the Bury when they send SSU to between. You trick us with campaign promises. We won't say it is, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you're not refrain, you're not refrain. So we've heard about your internal division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party? And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they're cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next ballot. But you guys will have to come real good, cause it's a long time Grenada ain't eat a food. You think politicians would trick us with campaign promises?
Promise one public service. Everybody will be made permanent. Nobody going home. Take Susu in you. I don't believe in superstition. Something wrong with the transformation. From the 10 them boys drink the water. Strange thing happening in Grenada. 3 houses born in Victoria. 2 born in St. David soon after. David Anderson and his brother. We had suicide and murder. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They run to drink the water. The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Mathematic, Carriacou, Grenada, and it's that. Juve man in a hold my head and ball. PM player jump and climb my wall. But it's not league and I remember. He drank the transformation water. And when I listen to the AG, if they do wicked, well they crazy. If you don't support their agenda, they treat you like fish out of water. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They run to drink the water. The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Every time I put on my TV, see me Minister of MIT. By Django says small and don't panic. The whole government photogenic. If they go to the bathroom to pee, posting it up for the world to see. Taking out pictures like circus clown. On the ballin', boots on the ground. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They run.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
They said that fella never sleep, yeah. Drink.
Yes, I did say last night, if the thing take me, I'm coming in studio, yeah?
And he start to rake up them people. Brian and Daisy.
It's supposed to be the skip week, but no, we're coming in there. And we have a guest who will be on with us in a little while. Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell will be with us tonight.
Drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada.
So looking forward to that. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Talking Points is on. Let me see those numbers go up before we start the conversation, man. And remember to hit the like button.
If you sit at the report in Grenville, what does work and bump like a square wheel? Tell this Malak cannot understand. How come he don't get a position? Philip is chairman and Nawasa. Glenn is ambassador to Cuba. Keto is the new house speaker.
We say a special good night to those of you who've already joined us on the Facebook. Kamita, I'm sure I saw you there somewhere. Yes, Kamita. Good night to you.
They run to drink the water.
Good night to your lovely sister. And good night to your lovely mother, yeah. Marilyn Ferguson, good night. Davis Charles, let me see. Shirley Lacrette, Dexter Charles, Elizabeth Douglas, Yvonne Courtney, Norma Roberts, Betty James. Yeah, good night to all of you.
Say glory, hallelujah, to sing that song you
remember to hit the like and share button. Like it and share it. Yeah, hit the like and share button. So you like it and then you share it, yeah?
The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on.
And also hit the like button on the Facebook. Come on, yeah, we could do better than that. Let me see, yeah?
Time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada.
Moko, good night to you.
I read that one.
Agnes Henry, Alban Harris, Claude Abraham, Gillian Noel, Stephen Simon, Cynthia Bartholomew, Vanessa Lalji, Ashma Charles, Ann Andrews, Listra Abraham, Dolores Redhead, Sherma Jeremiah, Kathleen Ledlow, Carl Jones, Sky, Marlon Ferguson, Jackie Raymond, David Langclos, Ruth Chitterman,
From the time they drink the water,
Faith Lynn, Hallie Douglas, Deborah Laborde, Bernadette Joseph, Liza Bernard, Anne-Marie Grant, Herbert Norre, Jacinta Livingston,
they start to
Christine Otley, Kathleen Knight, Janice Mitchell, Marilyn Panchu,
transformation water.
Marianne James, Sherms Houston, Hermina Batiste, Eddie Jarvis, Lona Lolo Williams,
The transformation
Irvin McSween,
the time they drink the water, they
Oswald Belfon, Olive Mitchell, Laslyn Douglas, Cindy Thomas, Moko Joseph, yeah,
yes, this is a tribute to
Fadu,
one of our fallen soldiers.
Hugh Douglas, good night, Shireen, Vaughn Wellington, Shenron Felix,
Parang will continue. Hi, boy. Hey, Seppi.
good night to each and every one of you.
I never knew Scala
As
was
I said, just about that 8:30, so we're going to be having Dr. Mitchell on.
to pray for you.
Get your friends, get your family.
Last year, the man said he
And we are live on 91.9, 91.5 Real FM.
now they call it in the number 7. Sing a parang for us. What's a parang for us? They say you're boss in your boss. So what's a parang for us? Tell them sing a parang for us. What's a parang for us? What's a parang for us? As a tribute to
We Noise Radio.
yes, man. Hey, them fellas they give him a lot of number 7. Hey, number 7 means money. Really? Hi, boy. Hey,
Good night to you, Izzy.
like that transfer.
Green Day is not done, Izzy.
Right on Grenada's boss. But the one what really surprised me is when the black folks women
Nurse practitioner Wendy Ann McGuire, good night to you.
seeking for compensation. A fella in Grenada jump and say, them fall and them searching for AJ. Sing a parang.
New National Party support group out there in New York. Let me say a special good night to you, Grace Lynn Ralph, the whole squad, yeah?
Parang for us. Tell them sing a parang for us.
Zingo!
Parang.
Good night to you, bro.
What's a parang for us? As a tribute to Douglas. Yes, man. Them for one compensation. Hey, hey. No more free.
Sorry, Izzy. That name is mine and yours.
Hey, boy.
Folks, remember tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. up there in Carriacou at the New National Party Carriacou office. They're going to be having that fundraising breakfast. So if you find yourself in Carriacou or Petit Martinique tomorrow, go on out and support the New National Party. Good night to you, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. Hope that you're having a wonderful night and have a wonderful weekend as well.
They say you're boss in your
I know you're still waiting for apology, but you see, you get apology from a man. You ain't go get an apology from a boy. Yeah, you understand?
what's a parang for us? As a tribute to
A
Douglas.
big man would admit and say, hey, I made an error. Maybe somebody told me that is your, a big man might do that. But a child will just think that, don't worry, don't go forget that just now. The time will come and they go forget that. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You forceful. NDC has some young fat bowlers, so them fellas bowling some bouncers. Who ain't bouncing check, they bouncing van. Who ain't bouncing van, they bouncing man. And recently for carnival, even baby Jesus bounce a girl. They say he's a reckless driver. Bounce the woman street on she bumper. Sing a parang for us. What's a parang for us?
So come on, friends. Remember to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. You had to contact people, tell them talking points on. Hey.
What's a parang for us? What's a parang for us? As a tribute to Douglas.
Yeah, and we do send condolences to the family of Mr. Andy Frank. Yeah, he used to work with the Ministry of Health. Yeah. I didn't know him personally. I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally. But we send our condolences to his friends, family, co-workers.
When you see this out of school, tell him not me
And folks, remember the convention of the New National Party is coming up on the 15th.
living in liberal. Grenada. But who cannot hear they go to feel? Rasta take a woman in goat hill. But the one who had red puzzle in me, both of them campaign for NDC.
See all kind of people making all kind of statements.
They say your boss in your boss.
All kind of people saying all kind of thing, eh?
Tell them sing a parang for us. What's up?
Well, we'll speak to our political leader tonight and we'll get things clear, yeah?
Yes, man. Tell my police friend, don't worry.
Yes, we will. We'll get things clear tonight, yeah.
You might get back. You might get back. Hey, Rasta, you tell why. Donkey you can. Oh, donkey you punky.
And folks, let's say a very special good night to a very special lady. I hope she's on and listening already. So let's say a very special good night. I'm not taking any calls, my dear. You're going to have to wait until after the program afterwards, yeah. We're saying a very special good night to Miss Camille Teresa Scott. Today is your birthday. Today has been your birthday. Tonight is your birthday.
Pay your bill, brother. Pay your bill.
And a happy birthday to you. Yeah, Auntie Camille. In fact, what we had to get Auntie Camille is like, Camille. Good night to you, Shemi Joseph. Hope that you're having a fabulous one. Keda Joseph, where are you?
You're not getting older, only getting better, only getting sweeter, and oh so much wiser. This is your day, this is your day, this is your day, this is your day. Like fine wine maturing, so pure, sure and sparkling, it's so reassuring to know someone so loving. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day.
So we say a special good night to the listeners via 91.9, 91.5. Real FM pulsating over there in beautiful St. Patrick. Good night to you, Mr. Andre Donald. And the entire Real FM crew. Hey, Raphael, good night to you, bro. And happy birthday to you as well.
Happy birthday.
How come your sister didn't message and tell me that one, huh?
Birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes, Kiami, happy birthday to you.
It's really a pleasure to know such a treasure. There's nothing to compare with your style and grace, my dear. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day. You're truly delightful and so insightful, amazing and funny.
Yeah, folks, I see the phone lines ring, but we can't take the calls now, huh?
This is your day. This is your
Yeah, I need to conserve my resources, so I can't take the calls right now.
This is your
I want to make sure that when we bring on Dr. Mitchell in the next 9 minutes or so, that everything is nice and clear and so, right? I know you want to call and then bounce off Dr. Mitchell nice, right? I want to make sure everything, working properly.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You have a nice day.
Okay, just got a message here. Anybody going to Carriacou tomorrow morning, just give me an inbox message. Inbox me anybody that's going to Carriacou tomorrow, yeah?
This is your day. This is your day. This is your day.
Yeah, you can send a message. I'll reach back out to you after the program, but I'll reach back to you tonight. But send me a message. Anyone that's going to Carriacou tomorrow morning, yeah?
This is your
Specifically tomorrow morning.
one devotion, heart big like an ocean, so precious and so kind. What a brilliant.
You all know the WhatsApp number in studio 7377. That's 440-7377. You could WhatsApp me there. Yeah. Send me a message and let me know that, or if you have my personal number, you can message me and let me know that you're heading Carriacou in the morning and we go have a conversation, yeah?
Time. You meet someone so divine.
Also remember Sip and Chat. That's taking place tomorrow as well. Yeah, the Sip and Chat.
This is your day. Happy birthday to you. May all your wishes come true, my darling. Happy birthday to you. Long life, sweet dreams, and all your blessings. Happy birthday.
So Sip and Chat is taking place tomorrow. That's the New National Party New York chapter. And that is taking place tomorrow at 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditmas Avenue.
Happy birthday.
It starts at 6 p.m. Eats available and they've got a cash bar. And that's taking place tomorrow. Music by DJ Small Clothes. So you could have a sip and have a chat, and there's also something to nibble on. So eats available, and of course they've got a cash bar. And again, the location 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditmas Avenue. Yes, indeed. Yes. So Auntie Kiami, that one was for you. Happy birthday to you and to my good buddy Raphael as well. A very, very happy birthday to you as well, bro. Yeah, happy birthday to both of you.
Time, let's go. Transformation in reverse gear. The whole country panicking in fear. The yellow ideology. Never walk in this bad country. If all you can make.
Yeah. Let me see the numbers going up. Man. Come on.
Pressure soaring higher. All you want is go by l'aqua. Go sing that in para.
Someone had to put on the volume a little higher. Let the neighbor hear so they're going to go and tune in too. Nice.
I hope it did. Carnival taking too long to come. Scholars sing them kind of song. And then the topic might get stale. Or they may try to put me in jail. I don't need a master's degree to know it's school children hungry. The program was managed real good. They used to have a lot of food. All you say everything is free. Take away the $1 fee. Now them children barely empty. Government can buy the groceries. Who go sing that in para? Sing a shop the song. I'm going and call my partner Lakey. I hope we did. Carnival taking too long to come. Innocent will never sing that song. By then the topic might get stale. Or they may try to put me in jail.
I think tonight is a night we got to put a lot of things in context.
For food, they won't have to cry. Diet is a critical thing.
So I look forward to speaking with our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, in a short while.
Feel sleepy. You can treat the nation's children.
Especially at a point in time, you're hearing this thing about who they want to bring, make here a Trump dump and all kind of thing, bringing these people. And again, I'm telling you directly, they would never even have attempted that had you had the new National Party in office. They would never have attempted that. You haven't heard them go to Barbados with Mia Motley. You haven't heard them go to any of these other countries in the region. You haven't heard them go to Trinidad with Dr. Keith Rowley. You haven't heard them go to St. Vincent with Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. You haven't heard them go to Guyana. You haven't heard them go to any of these other countries. Jamaica with Dr. Andrew Holness. They have not gone to any of them. Why am I forgetting the Prime Minister of Guyana's name? It will come back to me shortly. Yeah, but they haven't gone to any of these countries. But Grenada, they find, that is a pushover. Turks and Caicos Islands, they know that within the next month or two that there's an election that's due in Turks and Caicos Islands. So they've decided that that is one of the locations that they're going to approach for whatever reason. The Bahamas. They know that some officials there have got into some problems in the U.S., so they've approached them. And then, of course, Mexico, they're holding the tariffs over their heads. So there are these various countries that they are holding these things on, and that they have decided that, look, so why Grenada? Why Grenada? And I've seen the release by the government of Grenada, but I don't trust the government of Grenada. I do not, let me make it clear, I do not trust the NDC government. I do not trust them. These are the same individuals, remember, sat in a room and told the Grenadian people, we will not sign the Samoa agreement because we need to check and make sure everything in there aligns with us. Meanwhile, while they were saying that, not 10 days later, not 20 days later or 24 hours later, while they were saying that to us, the ink was drying on the signature of Grenada to the very same agreement they were saying that we wouldn't sign. The ink was in the process of drying. And the ambassador who signed could not have signed unless he got the permission of one or the other of the two people that were sitting there saying we wouldn't sign. So unless the Prime Minister or the Foreign Affairs Minister had given him the okay to sign, he could not sign. They could do it through the Permanent Secretary, but he could not sign. So it means that they one, the other, or both of them, at the time, Mr. Joseph Andal and Deacon Mitchell, both of them, or one or the other, knew that permission had been given to sign that agreement. And it was signed at the point in time that they were saying they would not sign. And there were many instances other than that that places my mind in a position where I cannot trust what these individuals say. So if they say that the U.S. government has not reached out to them, I say, well, all well and okay, the U.S. government has not reached out to you. But on an unofficial level, on an unofficial level, has anyone from the Donald Trump team approached you all or come in contact with you all, or any, even if he hasn't done it, they haven't done it directly to the cabinet of Grenada, but they have spoken to some official in some capacity to say, look, this is a proposal on the table, and if you all don't do this, these are the consequences, because there will be consequences. They ain't trying to do it to Trinidad and say, well, there'll be these consequences. But Grenada, and there's a reason, because they see weak leadership. There is weak leadership. In fact, I kind of shudder to say leadership in the first instance when you're speaking about what exists in Grenada right now. I don't even want to call it leadership. But for want of a better word or terminology, I'm going to say weak leadership. So they have decided that they're going to attempt that. And now they're trying to make it look, okay, they didn't speak to us and all sort of things. Just a 5-line or 6-line statement in relation to it? I think the Grenadian people deserve to hear a lot more. A lot more in relation to that. Yeah? We can't just take that one just so line. No. We need to hear some more in relation to that. Again, folks, I cannot take the calls. I'm sorry, I cannot take the calls at this time.
This is Malak again. I say my back brother. Michael Mattis, please don't take my bail. I want to go in jail. What you know about Black Pat and One Pat? Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me. Even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see Smallhouse in custody. Dr. Mitchell is a real world boss. He begged them fellas to come.
So, folks, don't forget those of you in New York, sip and chat.
And now the whole nation confused.
And those of you in Carriacou, even if you're in Petit Martinique and you're coming down to Carriacou tomorrow morning, go on out and support Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox and the new National Party team with their fundraiser.
Arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me.
Yeah. Now I see the numbers starting to look how they're supposed to look, man. Yeah.
I know haters.
Let me see some more likes there. Yeah. Like up the thing. Let's hit over 100 there. Yeah, nice. Well, they're getting close, but they ain't reached yet. Let's go down the road there. Yeah.
In River Road and Molyneux, is to see them with a helmet, telling us when project will complete.
Or you all will get a chance to call towards the end there. You'll get a chance to call.
No River Road and Botco flood, and Molyneux full up with more. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me. Even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see Smallhouse in custody. I really thought Randall Robinson bad, but the man is a real big coward. Came Jones say fire Larry Barry, fire him as the secretary. But the man he really Fred Millie. Come and tell us how some people say. Came Jones say by no fluffy old talk. Tell them fella time to pack and walk. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me. Even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see Smallhouse in custody. If I do see the farmer banker, ask him the reason he get fire. And if he pretend he ain't know, ask him about the house in Mary.
All right, nice. That's what I like to see. Yes, yes.
I go send him a number for me wife, and if you really want to make one,
I'm seeing the likes going in the direction that they should be going. Yes, nice.
and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a
And as I said, in a short while, we'll be having Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell on with us.
even though
So make sure that you message your friends in your WhatsApp groups,
to see small house in custody.
that you call your relatives, your workmates.
I want to be like the Prime Minister. I want to travel the world more.
It's a rainy Friday night, yeah?
In Nigeria,
A lot of rain when I went outside a little earlier, yeah?
getting paid like donkey, let you drop a breed. A popular more than GTA. Is my name what's selling this country? Call the police.
And good night to you, small axe.
Arrest me like Ziggy.
Honorable Kate Skeeter, Louis Peters, good night to you and the home circle.
Better tell them call the police for me. Even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see small house in custody. It took me a while to realize when Dennis Charles said that it's surprising.
And folks, we will still be having the program next week Friday. I'm not going to say, well, we do program this week, we're not doing next week Friday. We are still going to do the program on Friday of next week. We're still doing it, eh?
Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. I tell them call the police for me. Even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see small house in custody.
Yes, folks, so just making sure we have Dr. Mitchell settled. Nice, yes?
Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare.
And Ziggy, good night to you, bro, wherever you are. And let's see if I can bring in Dr. Mitchell right about now. Hello, good night to you, Doc.
Good night, man. Good night. The last time you were on, I saw all them beautiful green, man. What happened to you?
I'll come with a darker green tonight.
Yeah, what you have on there look like you're in a winter country, man.
The studio is a bit cold with the rain and everything, so I had to pad up tonight.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed, sir. How have you been doing, sir?
I'm fine. Just looking forward to of course, this Christmas season is on, of course, and of course our convention is coming up. So we're looking forward to what is ahead for us and what is ahead for the country, because NMP is what determines what happens to this country, and of course people are looking forward to what NMP has in store for everybody.
Over the last week, sir, you've had quite a few activities. You had a very magnificent banquet, and with two regional leaders visiting, and they had so many good things to say about your leadership, not only of the new National Party and Grenada, but as a regional leader, and how they have leaned on you over the years for advice. I heard Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt making a similar statement when he came into politics as a pretty young fellow. I think he was in his 20s when he became the Prime Minister of Dominica, and also saying that at that time he leaned heavily in your direction for guidance and so in relation to how to lead. How has the last week been for you with the various activities that has been taking place and so?
No, we're very honored by the fact that we have had two of our leaders in the region. Historically, the Jamaica Labour Party, which is now led by Andrew Holness, and of course, in the initial stages when NMP was formed in 1984, it was Edward Siaga. So that relationship has continued to be very solid over the years. So we are very fortunate to have that strong connection. I've been to several of the JLP convention in Jamaica over the years, whether I was in opposition or government. We have been there. And in the case of St. Lucia, with Honorable Alan Chastney, the leader of the United Workers' Party, John Compton was a serious support base for the new National Party when in initial stages, when I became leader, And of course, eventually Prime Minister John Compton was very helpful in providing advice. And just one thing we all learn, when you get into a job of responsibility, you always have to remember and to look towards those who have been there before, who understand the challenges and the issues related to governance. And therefore, I recognize that as an important factor, and therefore leaned considerably on the advice of people like John Compton and James Mitchell and others on the regional leadership, Eugenia Charles and all these people. They were very helpful, and that's a formula. I believe any serious leader that emerge, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, whatever, also always remember to touch base with those who have been there before, because they would have had experiences in dealing with some of the fundamental challenges that exist. So unless if you don't understand the importance of this, then you clearly would not be as successful as you should be.
Yes, indeed, and you
so
also...
we are very honored to have that celebration in December and to have these two regional leaders here with us, and it's exciting for us to complete the end of the year with a successful convention, and then eventually, of course, getting ready for the work of 2025.
Yes, indeed. And as you've gone on the convention now, where are we at with the convention right now? We know it's coming up on the 15th at what location? The St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School?
Yes,
it's taking place at the SAS and so on. Where is the party at this point in time in preparations for Convention 2024?
Well, the party is fully organized and mobilized in dealing with that the convention and ensuring that our delegates understand the issues involved or the critical nature of what exists ahead for the country and the role the NNP has to play in what is taking place in Grenada in the future. So I think a convention, it will be seen by almost all NNP supporters and by independent observers and people who normally have not supported us as key, because of the importance of the NNP role in rescuing Grenada and rescuing whatever happens in this country in the future, I think. So we are looking forward. I think people are mobilized, and there's a general sense of confidence in the success of the convention, despite any negatives that one has been hearing. I think we should all be clearly confident, and I think we are very confident of what the results will be, and of course, they're moving forward and rescuing Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimarte.
Dr. Mitchell, we've been hearing, as you said, some of the stuff that we've been hearing out there. You've been hearing about who have delegates lists and who have secret delegates lists and all these sort of things, and who controlling which votes here and that sort of thing. What is the situation when it comes to delegates and delegates?
Some people do not know about the history of the NNP and may not have been there. For 40 years, we have had convention based on a particular model, which is the leadership in the constituency has been the one who provided the delegates and recommendation for who represents a voting personnel in the convention. And that is consistent of 40 years. And I am fortunate in the sense that I'm one of the few persons that exist in the party at this level that has been there for 40 years. And that is how we have operated for 40 years. So I don't understand what is the issue related to the process. In other words, if we were wrong 40 years ago, if we are wrong, now, then it means we are wrong 40 years ago. That means there should not have been any convention, any leadership of the New National Party, any representative of the New National Party, because we have all been wrong for 40 years. So we are confident. So any noise in the marketplace that you're hearing, one should not spend time worrying about that. And you know, I feel a sense of at peace with the way forward, because I get the sense that the the persons who are confident of the NNP's future, and certainly confident of Grenada's future, because they two are tied together, are very happy about the tone and how we're moving forward. So anything in the extreme lies in the marketplace, one should not spend a lot of time on this, because people have their own personal interests and they may wish to push whatever agenda they wish. But in terms of the party, in terms of the country, in terms of where we're going forward, I think there's a lot of confidence. And I'm particularly happy that I could see this thing through and watch what is taking place with the party going forward.
Dr. Mitchell, have any names been submitted for leadership of the party? Do you know if any names have been submitted to the secretariat, to the General
Secretary? The
Secretary?
party has already decided that if I'm giving up the leadership of the NNP, that there will be a process, and a committee has been established who will invite recommendation for possible alternatives going forward. And they have reported that they have received 2 applications, and that those applications would be reviewed, and of course the personnel will be interviewed. And therefore the party then would make recommendation to the executive as to whether we're going forward with the 2 persons that have been, whose proposals have been received and who have been interviewed appropriately, and make recommendation to the party going forward.
Indeed.
And so I'm very satisfied that this process is going, and I've given authority for them to proceed accordingly.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we're speaking with
Dr. In fact, I just want to remind people that, you see, I'm looking as the leader who has been there for 40 years. Sorry, not 40 years, since 1989. I'm looking for the fact that I have a responsibility to help guide the process for the future, because we all cannot be in the same position and the same area of responsibility for life. So there must be transition, and therefore I'm looking forward to that process, and I'll be very much engaged, because I want to see a strong, united new national party, because that has implication for a strong and united Grenada Carriacou party.
And indeed, we've seen examples when that doesn't take place, what happens. We've seen the situation with sister parties in the region when what you are speaking about did not take place. For instance, we saw what happened with the UWP in St. Lucia. You mentioned Sir John a while ago. I think he was 80-something when he had to come back in and reassume leadership of the party to bring it back into office. We've seen the situation in St. Vincent with our sister party there, the NDP, and so it's important that the process takes place in the way in which you're prescribing that it takes place.
Yes, and I'm very happy that we are on a very correct path as far as that is concerned, and I don't see that problem existing with the new national party on the way forward, because with my intention of my decision that I make with respect to the party leadership, I'll be ensuring that the party's leadership is secured, and that the leadership understands the principles and policies of the new national party, and that it will be consistent with what we have done over the years, and the programs that we have implemented, and so on. And I would be there working quite closely, assuming, of course, that I've made the decision, as I would in fact indicate to the executive very soon, of my intention. So I'm at peace, Sheldon. I'm a happy man, because I watched this stage, Sheldon. I watched that stage on Sunday when we had that rally in Bouchejoux. And you look back at the stage, and when I turned and I look, and I say, look at this team, the young, vibrant, talented, committed soldiers, young, youthful, with ideas, not fly by night. And I looked at them and I said, look, I'll be so happy to be sitting in a rocking chair when I watch these young people taking the mantle of leadership where we are today and moving it forward. that is my objective, and that is what I'm looking at, and that's why I'm saying to people over and over, I'm really at peace, and my constituents are certainly looking forward to my ability to watch this thing grow and watch the party continue to move forward in a very serious way. I'm very happy looking at this.
I recognize as well some of the youth that we've been seeing on the platform. We're seeing young Kataka, we're seeing young Japal, and so on. Your views on these two young ones?
Mayana Charles.
Dr. Mayana Charles.
Yeah, she's been excellent. Her presentation has been so well accepted by all and sundry. Dwight Horsford, these young, bright, capable. When you listen to them, you feel that you have achieved something, knowing where the party's at. Not people are interested in just wanting position for themselves and their ego and their friends. We're not interested in that. We are not interested in personalities. We're interested in the country. What is best for the country. And that is what is so significant about the future of the NNP and by implication, the future of our country. It's good news. Very good news.
Indeed, Doc. And one of the things that I find most surprising of late is that you're hearing a lot of people that are expounding on the new National Party, expounding on processes within the new National Party. Many individuals who have been around roughly for 20 years. Going on 24. And I've never seen them at a convention, never seen them at a general council.
But today
I've never seen them.
They are soldiers.
Yeah. I've never once seen them. And I've pretty much been to every convention in all those years, and I've never seen them. And these are the ones now that you hear expounding on, the process should be this and the process should be that, and so on, and trying to give the indication that they have been the ones that have been guiding processes before.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine this? And as if I have a responsibility to listen to them and do what they say. And I think you're absolutely right. Some of them who just casually been involved since 1984, who disappeared from the scene. Some of them who went abroad and so on and disappeared for whatever reason, and come back and feel that they have a right to tell us how to operate and to what processes should exist within the new National Party. Well, we are very happy. And as I said, the young people that we've seen coming forward makes us feel extremely happy about the future of the new National Party and the future of the leadership of Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martin.
Dr. Mitchell, I want to move on to aims and objectives. And when I say aims and objectives, I'm saying it in this way. Much is being said, and from what we're picking up, much is being done. What is the aim and objective of some of these individuals at this point in time? Because I can't believe, if some people claim to be a member of the NNP, I cannot understand you being a member of the new National Party and doing specific things to attempt at creating a problem. So what is the aim and objective?
So then some people are interested in themselves and their own interests, and not of the country and not of the party. Some people just came into the party just a few years ago. Want to tell those of us who have been around for 40 years, 30 years, 25 years about their new National Party, when in fact they had no relationship at all. In fact, some of them did everything to destroy the new National Party. All the propaganda that had prevailed over the years, they were instrumental. I want to tell us now who should be and what should be existing with the new National Party. That won't happen. The NNP has always been a party of a family. The NNP has always been a party who takes in people, but at the same time give people an opportunity to make positive contribution. The NNP has always been a party of love. The NNP has always been a party of empathy, who reach out to people, give people a chance. And not all cases, the ones we bring in have necessarily done what we expect them to do, but at least we give people a chance, and that's all right. And I would say 90% of the time they've been successful, that these people come in and make positive contribution. But sometimes you might have one or two persons who feel that they want to go on their own wagon and do their own thing. But that's life. You're not going to be perfect in everything you do and every attempt. But the intention is noble. Give people a chance. Give people opportunity. That's all right. So whether they name left, right, center, blue, but red, they have been had the opportunity to get a chance within the new National Party and to make a contribution. And don't forget, the NMP won 15 seats 3 times in this country. We would not have won 3 times, 15 seats, had we not reached out to persons who did not support us over the years and come in and make a contribution in development of the country. So we should not be regretting the initiative of bringing in people, even if some of them have not conducted themselves responsibly and behave in a way that we think have been consistent with what we expect. But that's life, and we don't regret it. Just move on. And therefore, December 15th, we will be moving on. It says,
well, you know that's one of our songs. We're moving on.
Moving on, and no one will stop us now.
So we're all looking forward to the 15th of December and the new National Party convention. Doc, I want to approach you on a very ticklish issue. And I'm wondering how to approach this particular one.
Go ahead.
I've seen a media posting by a particular individual, an individual who's they're always out there. They're always saying that basically like they were the kingmaker back in 1989 to bring you in as a leader at the party.
There's something I say in the
Well, no, I mean that's the impression they give, that they were the kingmaker back in 1989.
They make no one would have been able to see them over the years.
Well,
but you know, when you're successful, you always got people saying, I've met people who say, this is my cousin. I never know them. This is my friend. I never know them. But when you're successful, if you are not successful, they would not want to be associated, and they would not make a claim that you are their friend. But when you are doing well, everybody wants to, I was responsible, I did this and I did this. Well, let me say this. The new National Party had the support of a lot of people in this country. And we've always been clear of the policies. We do not believe in people who have any serious criminal background. We do not believe in that. We do not believe in people who are involved in drug activities, because I've been accused before and I don't want to be associated with that sort of thing. So I think there's some fundamental principles that the NNP has certainly espoused over the years, and that will not change. That will not change. We accept contribution from all and sundry, but at the same time, we have fundamental principles that we will not allow to be part of the new National Party's agenda, and of course, in personalities.
And in relation to that, though, there's a particular posting that was made with a particular accusation that it's a serious accusation against your character, against you as an individual. What do you have to say in relation to that? I'm saying specifically a posting by Kennedy Budla.
No. Well, that's clearly false, and there's no such. Everyone knows Keith Mitchell and my personality over the years. No one could ever accuse me of being any part of any violent activities. That's not me, and I will never be part of this anything, and never have anything to do with anybody who has criminal background and want to do criminal activities. So for anyone to make statements to that effect, clearly it shows that they have an agenda and they're pushing someone is pushing them to do that for a particular purpose. So clearly that's out of line. And people that know me, I grew up in a village, Grenada, Hatfield, and no one, when somebody hears this, they say, oh, not Keith. That's not the man we know for, and he's now 70-something years. And we know that he has never been involved in any such activity. So it's clearly an agenda issue, and it's clearly people pushing something for whatever. But, you know, I say to them, we need to pray for these people. We are a party of love. Something is wrong with that mindset. And we just say, no, we are not going to allow ourselves to go down that path of finding having individuals that. So we are very happy where we are. I am so impressed with the youthful leadership emerging within the new National Party. I'm so impressed with what is taking place. We don't want to go back into this old garden of problems that existed years ago in this country. So I just say, let's pray for those who make these unfounded and false accusations, because they will in fact pay a price for that behavior. And we just have to, we're concerned about Grenada, we're concerned about the country's future. And I'm very happy, as I said, Sheldon, from the beginning of this program, that I'm so much at peace with what I'm seeing emerging within the new National Party and within the country as a whole. I look forward to playing almost a father role in the future of this party and the future of this country.
Indeed. And I had to ask the question because I found it so out of I mean, Doc, you weren't even referring to the individual or anything like that at that point in time. You were speaking about a situation. We know what happened in Antigua recently. Yes. There was a situation in Jamaica many years ago. And we know what happened in Grenada in 1983 and before, 1978, I believe it was. We know what happened in Grenada. And you were just referencing that in relation to certain things. Yes. So it's very, very weird.
I call no names. I made no accusations. I told that the Prime Minister should be more careful on making statements that can, in fact, incite people to do things that that's not in his own interest and the country's interests or anyone's interest. And by saying that those who are talking about corruption, they should not be alive. It's a dangerous statement of someone in a responsible position. And I gave him several examples of people who is perceived to have been killed or hurt physically by what is perceived to be the involvement in the politics. And I talked about several. I made no accusation against anyone. So for anyone to say that I was accusing them of something, it is tell you something that something is fundamentally wrong with that individual or those persons who are pushing this. I made no such accusation. And if people that know me know I don't go around accusing people of things that I don't have absolute evidence in because I was not involved. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But what do you think is behind this sort of thing? Because to latch on to just that, end of that.
The convention is coming up, and some people clearly know that they. I've made it clear that what I would like to see for the party. I made it clear the kind of individual I would support for any serious position within the National Party. And some people felt because I'm not able to give them the support that they have to attempt to destroy me and to make statements which are completely negative and unfortunate. But I think that's the issue more than anything else. So I pray for them, and I just say December 15th will be the day. And that'll be the last time we'll be hearing from those individuals and any perception that they have an attempt to damage anyone. And let's all go forward, looking forward to a better Grenada. Santa Claus is coming in December. Celebrate Santa Claus and move on to a program in January 2025. Prepare for general elections whenever it comes. That's my objective. We have to realize the country is looking forward to the NMP for rescue. We have to realize that the leadership of the country has let down the country from the promises it made and the pain and the suffering taking place in this country. It's painful out there in every sense. People are hurting. And we will spend our time not on the negative stuff. We will spend our time on promoting the opportunities that we believe is necessary for people in the country. And look, it's Christmas is here, almost here. And Sheldon, you know this. I know it. At this time of day, when you walk through the town, throughout the country, you see things buzzing all over the place. You wouldn't know that this is a Christmas time because things are dead. The poor people have no money. The shops all around the country, the retail sector of the country has serious difficulties coping. And people all over the country are talking about what is happening. Every time somebody meets, they say, what is going on in the country? And some of us, instead of spending time trying to solve the problems in the country and pushing the government, is spending the time about NNP and convention and personalities, which is unfortunate. Our concern is not just about NNPs, but it's about what is taking place in the country, the pain that is being placed on all sectors of the society, and the trouble that the ordinary man is facing in the country, the hopelessness that all prevail in the country. That is what we should be concerned about, and that is what the NNP will be, in fact, have been concerned about and will continue to be concerned about. And I said, come January, after Santa Claus come and go, we are going to be doing everything, providing some hope for the people of the country, saying that we are ready to rescue this country. And with the united effort of the team and the NNP, the youthful members on board, and those of us who have the experience who will be involved in the process of rescue, all of us will be working together to help the people of this country.
Indeed. And folks, I'm speaking with Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, former Prime Minister, political leader of the New National Party, leader of His Majesty's opposition. And Dr. Mitchell, and it goes back, what you just said goes back a bit to something that we mentioned earlier, that there are many people speaking now on NNP and convention, which means that after the 15th, they basically are nothing to speak about again. That's the end of that. But when people were being murdered en masse earlier this year, you had shootings taking place, sporadic gunfire in different areas, guys going to Lime and getting shot and killed, bodies being found here, there, all sorts of things. Strange, we didn't hear those voices. You had American tourists being kidnapped and so on, Grenada on the world news. We did not hear those voices. We had situations with workers, teachers, etc. We did not hear those voices. People breaking down people's place, telling them they have to move, take back the Chinese houses from the people in Carriacou, refuse to give the houses that the Chinese gave to Grenada for the more vulnerable amongst us. They refused to give them. We did not hear their voices, but NNPF convention, article, meeting here, there, stories, interviews on television. I find it most amusing. Amusing.
But it tells you, don't forget, when you lead, others follow, right? So it clearly, NNP is in fact the voice that people want to hear in the country, and it is seen as the NNP is the one that seemed to demonstrate the love and concern for people. So anyone who's interested in political power and realize, and they're not seem to be on the NNP's team, they will attack the New National Party and forget who is governing the country. It seems to me that our effort should be dealing with some of the major fundamental problems confronting the country, and with the leadership and the lack of empathy and interest and love and care for the people that in the country as a whole. That's what the government's supposed to be doing, helping the people of the country and taking care of the marginalized and the vulnerable in the society, and helping the country in terms of policy to move the country economically forward. But you're not seeing anything in the country that demonstrates the government has shown any initiative to improve the lives of the people of the country. And therefore, that's what anyone who cares about Grenada and not just care about politics and power and position should be spending the time dealing with the pain and the suffering outside there. That's what you should be doing. But since you don't care about that, since you don't care about the people, since you don't care about the pain, since you don't love people, you don't have no empathy, then you'll be spending time and those you perceive that the people love, which is the New National Party. And that's precisely what is happening outside. It's not difficult to decipher what is happening outside there. It's very easy. If these people had love, if they cared about the country, if they cared about the pain, if they cared about the suffering, they would see the NNP as a friend, and they would join with the NNP to help to solve the problems of the society. But that's not their interest. It's about power for themselves. Their interest in themselves. So they're not interested in people. We are interested in people, and that's why the people are interested in us. And that's why we should push ourselves forward, and we should promote what is best for the country. 2025, we're moving forward.
Indeed. And one of the listeners has just asked me, on a prior issue we spoke about, if any action is going to be taken. Your name has been called in a legal activity that you obviously.
Dr. Mitchell, there are several.
Some Dr. Mitchell, yeah.
So, but since some people identified me as I could be a person, we've taken steps, and we have, of course, written to the Commissioner of Police, and we thought it strange that the police service, someone has claimed that they were involved in some plot to kill someone, and the police has not moved. So we wrote them and said, we were waiting to hear you guys move on this. And someone claimed that they were. How could you just not sit there and do nothing about it? So the police has responded and said they will act accordingly. So we expect to see some serious action in the next weeks. They have to call in these people and certainly investigate accordingly what's going on. But that's their responsibility. That's not for us. That's not the NMP's agenda. The NMP's agenda is about what's happening in the country, what's taking place, and how we will go forward, building the lives of the people and helping the people. So whatever issues, additional issues, let the appropriate authorities deal with it accordingly.
Good. Dr. Mitchell, we're heading to the end of the year. As you know, outside of the convention, we're heading to the end of the year right now. Usually, by this time, the 6th of December, budget would have been read. With a new national party in government, budget would already have been read and preparations being made. So as the 1st of January, you're ready to roll. Are you concerned with the present state of what is happening, that we having budget, and according to the Prime Minister's words, maybe in January or maybe February? So we're not even sure if it's January, February, it may extend to March. Are you concerned, and what are the possible implications of that situation?
No, well, we are, of course, very concerned about the fact that the government seems unable to bring forward a budget so that people can plan based on what the plans are, can operate accordingly so that they prepare themselves and so on. So clearly the government is at loss in itself, not understanding what their basic responsibilities are. So clearly we have a serious issue, and the lack of presentation of a budget. As you know, the NNP consistently present budget in December so that people can plan for the new year going forward and so on. So we are very concerned, but that is the state of play of what exists in government at this particular time. So we'll always say we are watching and waiting, and at the same time, we are taking steps, as I pointed out before, to provide hope to the people. So we'll be showing a plan of action for governance of this country and a new period of governance, and that is precisely what we're doing. We cannot control what the government does. We cannot control the situation as they espouse, but we certainly have to control what we plan to do and how we intend to engage the population and involve, because a budget is about the people. So unless you involve people in a consultation at several levels, and becomes at the village and community levels, you are not going to be presented. You could present a budget for yourself. You could present a budget as you see it. But if the people are not involved, it's not their budget, it's your budget. And invariably, if it's not their budget, it won't be as successful as it should be.
Indeed. And we've been seeing several successful budgets during the period of the new national party. And we know that you've always stuck to whatever is put forward, you're able to stick to it. And it's not a situation as we have seen, for instance, with the budget that was done in the I always mix up the word for it. What was done in August, where we saw some $16 million, for instance, going to MIT for 200 homes, and which are supposed to be completed by the end of the year or whatever, and we're not seeing those things. I think the possibility is there now that I'm wondering, could it be an issue in relation to cash flow Is it an issue in relation to are they having, do you think it's a cash flow issue or so on? What is really the problem? What do you believe is the problem that they're having right now?
It could be any of those items you mentioned, but we don't know as a fact what the issues are. What we know, there's chaos within the plan aspect of the government, and clearly what is taking place in the country as a whole. So we just have to do what we perceive is important as far as these issues of budgeting is concerned and what is necessary for the country's future. I believe that one of the things that we do, as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, I believe that I have to look, we have to call a meeting of the Accounts Committee so that we will call witnesses from the Accounts Department and different levels of the government to find exactly what's going on. Since we have just been presented with an audited account only recently, we'll have the first meeting of the Public Accounts Committee in January, so we should have information specific based on data that we see. Then I'll be able to be more specific on some of the points that you just raised as far as the question of cash or overdraft or whatever is good. We believe is occurring in the country at this particular time. So these are things that we certainly will keep the population in touch with and inform people accordingly. But it has to be very concerning that clearly things are happening. No one is presented with information. No one knows exactly what's happening. And we know the chaos that exists within the government. We know the lack of unity and the lack of a policy, whether it's fiscally, socially, and otherwise. It's a fundamental problem, but that's the reality of what we have in government at this particular time.
All right, and Dr. Mitchell, I'll allow you to get a drink of water right now. We'll come right back with you in a short. Let me just allow Dr. Mitchell to get a drink of water there, because he's been talking for quite a period of time. So just want to make sure that he is okay there. Yes, indeed, folks. And we're going to take your calls at the end. I don't think Dr. Mitchell might be able to stay for the calls because I don't think I'll be able to get them to come through the system so that he can hear. So we'll try to do that a little bit after. And so again, we've been speaking about the convention of the New National Party. We've been speaking about some of the happenings. Dr. Mitchell has indicated that the commissioner, the police have been written to in relation to certain statements that have been made on social media, just questioning basically, why have you not started the process, or have you started the process of investigating? Because if people are making these accusations, then, and they're serious accusations, at least some sort of investigation needs to be done. Yeah? So indeed, folks, we'll be, Dr. Mitchell will be rejoining us shortly. Just make sure that you like the program. I ain't find seeing enough likes there, Yeah, I don't find seeing enough likes there. I want to see over 200. Yes, I'm not seeing enough likes there. Make sure that you go and you hit the like button. And I think Dr. Mitchell is ready to rejoin us. Let's go right back with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and continue our conversation. Dr. Mitchell, at the recent sitting of Parliament, there was a discussion in relation to October 19th. You did quite an extensive presentation in relation to that issue. In my view, I think members on the other side were missing the point that you were making. And instead, they just took it as though that like you're attacking them or some sort of thing. And they just kept missing the point. And it was made by all the members on the opposition team, but they just kept missing it. Well, your view again on that holiday.
I'll certainly go back. Sheldon, is one of my more difficult days in my life right now is to go into that parliament and watch the level that exists on the government side in terms of serious issues. When you raise a point, even when you are providing advice, because you were there long before and you've gone through all aspects of the issues related to the governance of the country, and you provide advice, they take it personal and they get very defensive and they start attacking. The members for St. Andrews Southeast spoke on this motion as far as October 19 being Heroes Day. And she made the fundamental point, which the government should have accepted, that while she has no problem, that's parliamentarian Emmeline Pierce, she has no problem, as she said, with naming a day for Heroes Day. So she was not disagreeing with the government for heroes. What she was saying is October 19 is an inappropriate day when you had a massacre in the country where a lot of innocent people lost their lives. And she was saying, if you want to recognize that there should be some solemn activity related to this. And she provided some alternative ideas, and she wasn't attacking the government, you know, and we were all extremely supportive of our presentation. And I was amazed and shocked when the leader of the country, who was not even born maybe just a few years when October 19th occurred, instead of listening to her, and I was a person who was around, so I know what she was saying. It was factual. I didn't read in a book like the Prime Minister, or read it in a book, or read it in a public statement or television program. I was there. And I recognized that she was giving a good sets of recommendation as far as that issue was concerned. And he proceeded to basically attack her and saying she's sanctimonious about her ideas of October 19th. And that was extremely unfortunate. But that's a pettiness. That is the level that this government has operated on over the years. Childish, petty, vindictive, and not understanding when you are in governance and particularly leadership, that you have to understand that not everything you say or do will be perfect, and that you need to listen to alternative ideas, and you will gain strength from those ideas. So I was taken back, but that is what we have in leadership in the country at this time, and there's nothing you can do about the change. Then that change will come when a general election is held, hopefully sooner than later.
Yes, indeed. And there was one particular point that you made there, and I think that many persons missed it. And it was in relation to statements that they were making in relation to, oh, well, NNP was there and they did nothing in relation to recovery of the bodies of Maurice Bishop and so. And you made a statement that I realized even some of the media missed it and so on. I picked it up because I found it to be very interesting, where you gave some insight into your approach to the American government. Could you tell us a bit about that, please?
Well, not only we had Maurice Bishop's daughter engaged me and former wife, and we spoke about the question of the bodies, and we asked all the undertakers. Bailey was involved, and there was testing done on some bones that was found at the cemetery, and we found that was not that of Bishop or those who died on October 19th. I proceeded to ask the American Embassy in Grenada and Barbados and the US government at all levels. And in fact, when I met with President Bush at the White House, afterwards, subsequently, in fact, he gave instructions to people to provide us any information that they have with respect to the bodies and the problems that they had. And they did precisely this. And I came home and I reported that the Prime Minister would just read the documents that he has in the Prime Minister's office. I didn't leave with Office of Prime Minister with it. It's there where the information as we presented, the cabinet document would have indicated what I said to the cabinet and the information we provided then. So it is extremely unfortunate that this thing has become seen as a political issue, and it should not be a political issue. It's clearly a matter of facts, what is existed and what did not exist, and what we did, the previous government did, and the Prime Minister, who, as I said before, was hardly maybe 5-6 years old when all these things were happening. And he said, coming to tell us what we did, when in fact he doesn't have a clue what exactly happened. It's unfortunate, but the arrogance and lack of sensitivity to issues of this nature is the hallmark of what we see in the leadership of this government at this particular time.
And as you mentioned arrogance, Dr. Mitchell, I always remember, and I'll never forget, on winning the 15 seats in 2013, when you were speaking to your cabinet on the inauguration of your cabinet, the swearing in of your cabinet, that was the constant theme that threaded itself throughout your message. Humility, humbleness, understanding that the people have taken a decision to give you this opportunity, respect them for it, and be humble. And
Yes.
that theme continued into the inauguration of your cabinet in 2018 as well, and continues even to this day.
Yes.
I know of individuals that you spoke to and you speak about being humble, calm yourself down, humble, humility, and so on. But we're just not seeing that with this administration. It's like a peacock trying to attract the next one. It's just like it's wild, to be quite honest, and it's shameful.
Any position of leadership that you occupy in life, whether it's politics, business, sports, humility has to be one of the major fundamental characteristics of your opportunity for success in that job. And particularly in the case of politics, because let's face it, we are supposed to be humble servants. We are not masters of the people. We are servants, and servants supposed to behave in a manner that demonstrate a sense of humility and understanding of the role. But that is not what we're seeing in this government. That the arrogance, and I have this title, I'm the minister of this, and I'm the prime minister, and the arrogance is clearly on display through an entire government system. And that is one of the biggest failure of this government. While they're sitting on top of there with their arrogance and supremacy and the attitude, the people on the ground have seen a completely different story. And it is said, one day, they will find out. As the old people say, one day, Kogote. But unfortunately, that is something that they have to be aware of. And I make the point to tell over and over to political colleagues that humility is one of the biggest attributes of any successful politician. If you don't have that, you will find yourself in a lot of trouble, because the job you have, a title was given by the people. You didn't get it by some successful intervention and intellectual property rights and so on that you got the success. You got it because the people trusted and give you. It is their job, not yours. So use it to help them and to make them look good, and not to impose yourself on top of them.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we're speaking with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, and we're having a discussion about several things. We're ending off 2022, and we're not sure if probably after convention we would like to have you back on, sir. But at that point in time, we'll be speaking convention.
Well, I look forward to be there. And as you know, I have my podcast, Sheldon, and yes, I would continue speaking on several issues and giving my own experience in several issues related to the life of the country, whether it's education, because I, of course, been involved at all levels of education in this country, and the social life of the public, and sports. Of course, I look forward to this, knowing the importance of sports in the development of our country, and all aspects of the life of the country. I would certainly be looking forward to sharing my views on the podcast, and any current issues that will exist, like some of the convention issue taking place. I certainly be sharing my views and where we're going forward, how we're going forward as far as that particular issue is concerned. I look forward to this continuation engagement with the public throughout the length and breadth of this country.
Doc, there's a very, very topical issue right now. We've seen news reports out of the United States speaking to the possible deportation of non-Grenadians to Grenada. The countries mentioned were Grenada, Turks and Caicos Islands, the Bahamas, Mexico, Panama. The other countries have come out most forcefully and said, basically they said, not in hell. This ain't happening in our place. Our government has simply said that they've not been approached in relation to that. Your views on the present situation, considering what has been taking place?
That was brought to my attention this same afternoon when the first broadcast was made. And I made it very clear that I thought it would, that was clearly not in the best interests of Grenada, and that the U.S. is in a much stronger position economically and others in terms of geographical space to handle millions of migrants as they wish, and they have the resources to do so. We are vulnerable, and we are in a terrible situation economically and otherwise, and we're not in a position to handle this. But I did caution those who spoke to me and asked me about it that I did not hear the government position. I heard an organization calling the Trump team, and they are not in government. So I caution people, you can't say the U.S. because the government of the United States is not the Trump government at this particular time. And they certainly have not been named as responsible for that statement. So I did caution that you can't say that the United States is involved. So that's the transition team of Trump making statements. And if that's accurate what NBC said, then certainly we don't support it, and we expect that our government. But subsequently, they came out and said they knew nothing about it, and I assume the implication is what they're saying is that they will not support it. But they would have to know that if they support such, we would be very much against it as an opposition party. We cannot accept this.
Yes, indeed. And folks, I'm speaking with the opposition leader here in relation to several issues, and there's also the issue of the statements that were made in relation to oil and gas. Yeah, the statements that were made by the present administration in relation to the issue of oil and gas, and saying that all documents were there and documents were missing and so on. A couple of weeks ago, we brought well, best I call him Doctor in truth, but Honorable Gregory Bowen came onto the program, and he was able to speak in relation to that issue. And he exposed the fact that the government, he went in, they called him, they asked for assistance in relation to it, and he did offer his assistance, and they were able to locate the documents, but said absolutely nothing. Subsequently, on questioning in relation to that, we heard the Prime Minister saying that that there would be a press conference by the end of November. I don't know if he meant November 2025, but he said that there would be a press conference at the end of November to address that particular issue. We have not seen, we have not heard anything in relation to that since then. Your views in relation to that particular issue, the approach of because we recognize there's a pattern now, you know. Whether it's a Polish man give an NP a set of money, or whether it's we wouldn't sign the Samoa agreement, or whether it's an MP in Carriacou saying that he met Senator Cox's mom, who isn't even living in Carriacou right now. There's a pattern.
Lies and more lies. That's a hallmark of this government. How this government could be defined, and nothing they say you can trust it, because clearly it's not based on facts. It's about a man repeating something from top of his head without any basic understanding of some of the issues involved and the truth of the matter. So clearly we recognize that's a fundamental problem, Sheldon, and I just say to people, I don't know, when you hear them talk, you just have to listen and certainly do. Ask them basically, where's this information coming from? The oil and gas issue. My brother and the deputy political leader of the New National Party and the former Minister of Works and Finance of the NP government, Gregory Bowen, explained the whole issue. And in fact, he was the only member of this government that has ever been called by the Prime Minister, President Prime Minister of this country in 2.5 years. And he went there and gave him, as a patriot and a citizen of this country, all the information required. And he basically was lying about what he was told, and basically did not, in fact, confirm what Gregory had in fact told him, and came out angrily saying that those of us, people who started accusing him, said that those of us who are accusing should not be alive, and which is a far-reaching and deadly statement, and highly irresponsible statement for someone in such critical position, almost implying that people should go and get us, those of us who may be talking things that are different from what he's saying, which is extremely unfortunate and dangerous, and it has a violent connotation to it. Unfortunately, that's what we have. That's what the population voted for, so we have to live with it for a little while.
Also, we had the situation, I believe, where Honorable Gregory Bowen also spoke with them in relation to the Kimpton by Kawana issue, and gave some advice in relation. Another issue where it seems as Grenada is still going to spend money. I know that you're in charge of that particular committee. Have you gotten any information of late in relation to Grenada and CBI? Are we still working with Russian? Are we still giving Russian people passport? Are they still being processed through the program? What is the present status with the program and so on?
What this government is doing. I certainly would know what this government is doing. I know we had a program, and of course we are very transparent with it. And I cannot say that the present government has been transparent. They have issued some statements about what they're earning from the program and so on, but we have seen no evidence, a factual basis of those results. So I would not want to venture into commenting on this because I don't have information. All I can do is suspect what is perceived to be happening with that particular program going forward. But I hope and pray that the decisions that they're making would be ultimately in the best interest of the country. So we wait to see, and we will find out because we'll ask questions appropriately.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Okay.
And Dr. Mitchell, we know we're close to the end. I just wanted to give you the opportunity now. We know convention is coming up. We know we have all the folks that are on, the thousands that are listening via the radio, the YouTube, the Facebook, everything. Your final words to them for tonight as we head into convention 2024. And Christmas, well, I don't know if we really are Christmas 2024, but after that, what should be Christmas 2024?
Yeah, just to say to the population and to those who are concerned about the NNP is well organized, and of course is on one platform as in terms of preparation for its national convention on December 15th. We're very much clear on the future of the party and the leadership that we're going forward and the team that we're going forward with. So we're not concerned, and therefore they should not listen to all the noises in the street, but just wait for the results, and we will be moving forward together, because the NNP's program is not about the personalities and the people and those who are leader, who not be leader, and what position they are. NNP's policy is about the people, what is beneficial to the people of the country. So what is beneficial to people is what we will be seeing at the end of that convention, and we're moving forward together. So we look forward to, we would expect a very successful convention in December 15th and moving forward together. And I just want to take, I expect we will have an opportunity to do so before, just take the opportunity to wish everyone the best Christmas season that they can have. And despite all the lack of economic activity and how dead the Christmas season appeared to be, I think we just want to wish everybody, despite the problems, remember you have life, you have yourself, you have your friends, you have your family. Let's stay together and let's continue to work together to build Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter. Thank you, Sheldon, and thank you for your program. And good evening to all concerned. Thank you, sisters and brothers.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mitchell. And do have yourself a wonderful, and I know you're one leader that you sleep properly. Yeah, sometimes I know you sleep properly because you know that you care, you've done what you had to do, so you could sleep properly. I can't say the same for other people. I don't think they're sleeping.
So I do take care of my body too.
Of course. Thank you very much, Dr. Mitchell. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yes, folks, we were speaking there with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Yes, the political leader of the new National Party. And let me just make sure I saw this out here. Yes, nice. Yes. the political leader of the New National Party, former Prime Minister, and indeed leader of His Majesty's opposition. Yeah, I have a song. I have a song for Dr. Mitchell. Let me play a song for Dr. Mitchell.
This song is dedicated to all the heathen and those that think they can change the course of time. Those that fight against the upright in heart and are too intelligent to overstand that the meek shall inherit the earth. Fire! They can't change him, masters.
Yes, folks, and I will be taking your calls right now. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside.
Me a constant fight. You try your best to be my light. Why did you do it? Why? You sacrificing my good name in your quest for fortune and fame. Why did you do it? Why? My faith is in the God Almighty. And what is His will got to be? With blatant lies and in disguise, you come to criticize. But now I hope it's time you realize you can't keep a good man down. Who God bless, no man shall curse.
Once again, 440-7377, 347-329-3101.
In
The
Jaja,
phone lines are now open.
that's why I'm rising. Rising. Oh God, I'm rising. Higher and higher. I'm
Good night to you, JC Sherry.
rising. Oh God, I'm rising. Like a blazing fire. Oh, me mama, oh God. Yes, I'm rising.
We all know Dr. Mitchell is a good man, eh?
I am.
And they come with the fake stories and so on. Answer to the tell the police about that.
Hypocrite get a meeting.
But again, we always have to ask ourselves, what are the aims and objectives? Now, people not doing these things just helter-skelter and crazy. These things are being done with a particular aim and objective in mind. And what I'm concerned about is that a lot of these people, if you really check for the last 2.5 years, well, nearly 900 days, these individuals have not been speaking on behalf of the Grenadian people. All sorts of things have been taking place in that space of time. You all know, you all have been tuning into this program. You've heard Dr. Mitchell come on, you've heard various members of the New National Party come on and speaking in relation to issues that are affecting average Grenadians. And again, average Grenadians don't mean people who are poor, it means everybody. And these issues are affecting average Grenadians, and you hear them come on and expound on these issues and speak on these issues and even offer suggestions to the ruling administration of how to address these issues for the betterment of each and every Grenadian. And while that is being done, some people have remained silent. Some people have remained silent, but as soon as it comes time about leadership and New National Party, there are people who talking that have never even registered as a member of the New National Party. But they're trying to dictate. They basically want to order the New National Party how they must do what they have to do. They're not even a card-carrying member. They never even make an application to be registered, much less to be registered as a member of the party. Nobody's saying that you can't make a suggestion, but you want to order the party and then you want to attack people in the party when they don't take what you're saying. I mean, I find that to be most interesting because I know at every convention of the New National Party, when you hear they say all positions are declared vacant, it means all. All. From political leader down to floor member. All positions are declared vacant. Another political party can't say that. But you see members of that political organization talking about democracy. They basically have a dictatorial system put in place where you select a person, and after they select that person, the person cannot be moved. There is no process to remove that individual. As long as the individual is in for 3 years in first instance or in other instances while they hold the office of Prime Minister, they cannot be challenged. And they are the ones talking about democracy. And they are the ones that every single day, they have all sorts of things to say about the new National Party and the new National Party convention. Whole year, NNP having convention, NNP having convention, NNP come on our convention. And they were so busy minding NNP business. And NNP and having convention, NNP having convention, that now the new National Party is having convention and they didn't have one for the year. Because they were so involved and interested in the NNP itself. And then within the organization, and let me say there is no leadership crisis in the NNP. There is no leadership crisis as some people out there trying to give the impression. There is no leadership crisis in the new National Party. None. There's no leadership crisis here. If you want to know what a leadership crisis is, look at the National Democratic Congress. Because if Mr. Deacon Mitchell gets up tonight and decide he's done with that, who is taking over that party? Who is the next leader? Who is the next person that's going to come and become the Prime Minister of Grenada? Because if he steps aside, now somebody has to assume the mantle. Who do we now put number 10 as the Prime Minister of Grenada? Who do we go in and put Mr. Blas? Who do we go in and put the one that is called the Energizer Bunny? Or the other one that is tie over his shoulder? Who do they go in and put? The beauty queen? Who are they going to put? And will Grenadians accept that? Yeah? Will Grenadians accept that? We have to be careful. And we have to understand there's no leadership crisis in NNP. As some people trying to make it look, some people trying their hardest to make it look like there's some sort of leadership crisis in the new National Party. Anybody could want leadership, not anybody deserve it. I could want leadership, I could decide, well, yeah, I want to throw my name in the ring too. Anybody can want leadership, but not any and everybody deserve it. Yeah? Just remember that. Anybody could want it. There's no problem. Nobody can stop a human being from wanting something. You can want it as much as you want. You could want it as much as you want. But outside of wanting it, do you really deserve it? Do your principles align with the principles of the organization? Do your principles align with the principles and philosophy of the organization? Yeah? Because the organization has a particular philosophy and principle. In fact, it's the only political organization in Grenada with a specific philosophy and principle. The other one, they changed from this and they changed to all kind of nonsense. But we have a specific philosophy and principle of how the organization operates and how we interact with other organizations and so. And also a philosophy of how we go forward to develop the people of Grenada. That is why under the new National Party time, when you had ministers go overseas, they come back with something tangible for the Grenadian people. Not a set of pictures and say, well, okay, this outfit did look nice when I'm hanging out by the Eiffel Tower. Or to go and say, well, I was drinking beer in Germany. Or I went and saw a rhinoceros, some part of Africa. And to come back with the photos to say, well, yes, I was there. It's not about that. But there must be some sort of tangible benefit to the people of Grenada. Dr. Mitchell asked several questions in the parliament that remain unanswered to this day. In relation to things like travel and so on. Several that remain unanswered to this day. And we have to ask ourselves why. Because there's no reasonable explanation as to why those questions have not yet been answered. No reasonable explanation. And questions that are important for you and me as Grenadian citizens to know. But yet still, nothing. Folks, the phone lines are open. If you all not calling, are going Ollie, and I take it. Yeah, taking it Ollie and going. It's Friday night. I do a special one for you all. And if you all ain't calling, yeah, I wrapping it and go. 440-737-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside.
Like an educated fool, you've been to many school and still can't comprehend the golden rule. You can't keep a good man down. You smite the shepherd and scatter the sheep.
So remember, folks, we're heading to the new National Party Convention the 15th of December, the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School.
As a man so shall he reap. That's why I'm rising.
Yes, my good friend Marilyn.
Oh God.
NDC spends so much time talking about NNP convention, they forget they had to have their own.
Oh God.
So much time on NNP and NNP convention, they forget they had to have their own. So 2024 will end without them having one.
Hidden man. Why you fight against Jaja plan? I want to know.
At least we was minding we business and them was minding. So we had two set of people minding we business. Good. So who was minding theirs?
I'm rising high. Run! With your brainwash education, you tribalize my mission. Why did you do it? Why? I'm not a politician. I'm a culture man with a vision. Why did you do it? Why? It's time you face the reality that none like you will ever stop me. You thought you would bring.
And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night.
Yes, good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
All right. Good to hear Dr. Keith Mitchell on the radio tonight. I didn't expect that the coming up and audience are listening. So, and today is my birthday. So,
Oh, it's your birthday too. So you, Cami, Raphael, all of your birthdays on the same day.
Yeah, a lot of what we.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. I do hope that you have enjoyed your day today.
Yes. It was a little bit up and down, but I enjoyed.
Don't eat too much of the cake and go and send the blood sugar up there. You know?
Up to now, I don't eat something pop up for the day yet. I just relax.
Nah, man, you have to eat something now your birthday. Or what kind of thing again?
But I know that. So I expect to do something tomorrow direct in the pot.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, my brother, you do have a wonderful day, though.
Today, so that's why I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. I understand. All right, my brother, you do enjoy the rest of your day today.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. 440-7377-347-329-3101. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and listen, folks, we're going to be, over the next couple weeks or so, we have to go back to a lot of the happenings during this year because, see, one of the things that this administration believes, they believe that Grenadians just have a 3-day or 4-day memory, that they can do things and then we'll just forget about it and move on to the next thing because they do so much things. Yeah? From cussing teachers after the hurricane and tell them go and buy the water. And when you do hear the as the younger ones say, when the boom drop, you realize you hear teachers wasn't being paid. Yeah? So there's a lot that we have to go over again from over the next few, and we have a call online. Let me just get that call coming through. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Mr. Scott. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
I just want to congratulate you and thanks for having the doc on. You know, I find it very informative and it's a nice view. I have two quick questions. I just wanted to know, ever since the NDC been a political party, have they in the many years that they've been a political party ever made a full term in office? That's one. And secondly is within the last 6 or 7 years, how much leaders they ever had? And I want to know why they always fighting among themselves, if they mean the best for the country. Thank you.
All right.
Have a lovely night, sir.
Same to you. Thank you. Have they ever made a full term? 5 years? That That's a kind of technical one to answer, because the last NDC administration of 2008 to 2013 made 4.5 years. If you want to say a full term is 5 years, so no, they may not have ever made a full term. The NDC before that, after Sir Nicholas Braffett resigned, and then you had Honorable George Brezan came in as the Prime Minister, I know that he did not stay on for that length of time before he called a general election to get his own mandate. Of course, he lost in 1995. So if you want to say that that was a full term, it's a technical one. To say if that one is really could be considered a full term. Have they had a follow-on term? No, they generally do not have a follow-on term, because the philosophy and the ideology of the National Democratic Congress does not align with the development of Grenada. That has always been the case. The philosophy of the National Democratic Congress as an organization, if you want to call it a philosophy, has never aligned with the development of Grenada. It has always dragged Grenada back, and it takes an NNP government to come in and move it forward. That has always been the situation. You saw what many of you would remember, and again, that's why I keep saying speak to the young ones, and that's usually why on the Friday night program we have all these discussions and we interact as much as possible with the young ones and different things like that. Show a lot of the stuff from before, and so we usually do that on a Friday night because a lot of the young ones do not know the track record for development of the new National Party administration, in particular the Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell-led New National Party. They do not have an idea. They met a cruise ship terminal. They met a bus terminal. Yeah, they met a national stadium. They didn't know that those three things did not exist before. And they hear all the talk about the General Hospital and so on. They should see what the Colonial Hospital that was there before what's there now. They should see what was there before that. With all the cats that used to be on the hill in the back, cat in the hospital. They should see that. They should be able to see that. So they have a clear understanding of where we were to where we have arrived. But when you look, even you look now at the legislative agenda of this NDC administration, it's retrogressive. It doesn't provide anything to the Grenadian people for their development. They have what I would call a very weak to nearly non-existent legislative agenda. That means the laws that they bring to Parliament and pass and so on. They're speaking about data protection, yet we see what's happening. Yet you're hearing about drones flying around people's place and all sorts of nonsense taking place. People's personal information seems to be ending up in people's hands just so. But they speak about data protection. You see what they tried to do to the allied healthcare workers. When what they put in place and they tried to make these people have to go and find thousands of dollars to go and get certified and all this sort of thing. You saw what they did when it came to the small business people operating in the area of the Port Highway. And again, no one is saying that the Port Highway looks beautiful and spectacular, and that is something that we should be proud of. But promises were made to those people of how development of that area would take place. But instead of moving forward with the development and then shifting the folks from there to the new development never took place, and there was the attempt. And we'll pat talking points on the back because we said to them, do not move. Challenge it. When they went to the courts, there was nothing there. There was no order inside there for them to move. Yeah, and that's the reason that you see the majority of them there still, because some of them were afraid. They started moving out things and so on. And these are people that have their children to see after. They have elderly parents and grandparents that they see after and so on. And that is the means that they use to do it. And instead of finding a methodology where these people could continue to make a dollar, they just decided heartlessly so. And that's why we often speak of the lack of emotional intelligence. That the move was just, let me just move them. People will get accustomed to it after a while. That is the attitude. That they believe that it's okay. You could just go and spend, who knows, if it's $1 million, $2 million, $500,000, whatever they spent to put up lights around the carnage. And after you put them up, and you boast about that being a massive achievement and so on, then you take them down, and we don't know if they'll be able to go back up. We don't know what is taking place with them. We don't know if they'll make a reappearance during the next independence ceremony. We know not, because there was no forward planning. It was just like, okay, we have an opportunity now to pass some money into some of our friends' pocket and so on. Let's just go ahead and do that project. It go look nice and people go, wow. But there was no forward planning about what is taking place on the carnage. So you put up the lights and then you have to go back and take them down because the carnival season comes, some of the trucks have to pass there and so on. And it was a problem, so you go and you take down the lights. In the middle of the night, just go take down the lights and that sort of thing. No forward planning. Just window dressing. It go look nice, people go like it and they go talk about it. Just nice. Yeah? That's the sort of thing. That's the sort of attitude of these individuals. They don't do forward planning to say that this is what we're doing and this is going to be the outcome. So you see them making manger papa right now. Yes, I could say it here. They could try to stop Doc in Parliament, but we'll say it here, manger papa. So they're trying to make manger papa with the youth department, right? Well, not even youth department, because right now it's downgraded to a youth division. So they basically come with the Imani program now only for women, because every single thing that they have said about that new program that they, well, so-called new program, but you just rename, give a program a name, and you're just doing the same thing as Imani. It's the same project document for Imani that you could use for that. Because everything that you've said you're doing there is what was being done in Imani already. So you wonder, really and truly, if these individuals can get it right. Again, the topical issue now of the situation with the attempt to deport different people to various places, inclusive of Grenada. And you ask yourself, what did the group of individuals who sat down look at the whole planet? Again, they look at the whole planet. They didn't just say, let's just look at the Caribbean. They look at the whole planet. So they look at African countries. Countries with thousands of acres of land and all kind of thing. With mineral resources and who, if you assist them and so on, billions, trillions of dollars. They look at them. They look at Middle Eastern countries. Same thing. Asian countries. They look at all these countries, and the decision was made to send these people to Grenada. Grenada as one of the few countries that you look at and say, well, yeah, we're going to send them there. It has to be something, a weakness that they see in the leadership here in Grenada to be considering that. And we will see, We will see. They say if you have patience, you go see Ant's belly. We will see. Because on the 20th, it's the 20th of January, the Trump administration will be sworn into office. You'll have the Senate hearings and the various hearings, if it goes to hearings, for some of his appointees. Because I think there's an attempt to not have hearings for some of the appointees. I'm not too sure if the president-elect will get through with that. But some of the people, they don't want to have any appointees. They don't want to have to go through a panel. They just want to appoint them. So if they get through with that, yeah, pretty much right after you'll start to see whatever it is that they're rolling out. And remember, Grenada name already called at the top of the list. If we're not at the top of the list, we're in the top 5. But it says something about the perception of your leadership here in Grenada. It says that there's a weak supposal of worth of what your leadership is. It says that when they look here, it's like, yeah, we could do them that. But just a few feet down the road in Trinidad, who have more land space available than Grenada, who have more resources available than Grenada, who have a significant Spanish-speaking population already as it is, who already has a significant, for instance, if you're saying Chinese, They have a significant Chinese population as it is over the last 200 years. You've had the Chinese in Trinidad for over 200 years. So you have a significant footprint in Trinidad. They didn't say to Dr. Keith Rowley down there, let's send some folks down there by you. But you decide that you're doing it to Grenada. Because there is a perception of weakness here. They didn't go to Mia Motley and say, well, okay, your economy seems to be doing okay and so on. And you may have the land space in a particular area that you may be to retrofit something or the other. We're going to send some to you. No. And they're bigger than Grenada. But look at us. Look at us. They want to send them here. That's the intention. Again, the Biden administration, at least for the next 6 or so weeks, yeah, about that, 6 or so weeks, is still in charge of the affairs of the United States. But after that, it changes. So by that point in time, we'll hear what the new outcome is and what is really taking place. And assume even before that, we may get some more information in relation to the accusations that are being made by NBC News in relation to that particular issue. So folks, just a programming note next week. Yes, we are having program Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let me repeat. And if I get bad, Saturday too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, we are having programs next week. Look out for the destabilizers. Some people, well, let me just play a song for them. I'll play a song for them when I end it. Yeah. Some people come in nice like there is one of us, when in apparently they are working against us. You all understand what I'm saying? So some come nice as though they are one of us. The people who have been advocating on behalf of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, who have been struggling for the last 2.5 years under this administration to get them to get it right. When it comes to crime, healthcare, infrastructure, education, youth, who have been struggling against the nonsense that they have been doing and trying to get them to get it right. Though in their arrogance, they are blinded to the information that's being given to them. But it seems as though some people working along with them. Some people working along with them. So as such, we have to be careful. I know by in the morning, I could actually sit here right now and I could write the article which certain quote-unquote journalists are going to have out before 12 midday tomorrow. There's individuals who will stay up tonight 2 and 3 in the morning to try and have out by 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah? Just when all you're referencing talking points, just make sure and say talking points. Hosted by Sheldon. So all afraid my name? All afraid I do a program on all your something all afraid of? Yeah? No, some of them they do it, they're taking the footage from the program, they do it, and they're cutting all the talking points. All afraid. Leave the talking points logo. Don't cut it out. Yeah? Mention the name of the program that the statement was made on. Like some of all you're afraid. Yeah? Like some of all you're afraid. I don't know all you're afraid. I don't bite people. Let's go by gentle dental care when I'm ready, but I don't bite people. Come on. Folks, that's pretty much all the time we have for tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. We'll be back with you on Monday. Yes, for more talking points. And remember, talking points for the whole week next week. Look out for the destabilizers. They come in. We have a song for them. And I bust a song for them.
You're too fake. Only my friend know my secret. Mr. Rooks, though he's only sheep, would reveal it. Ah, boy. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. waiting you. When I done, I come to you. And the bills I cannot pay. It's only you. No, my Saturday. I thought you was my friend. You know how to pretend. What kind of thing is this? You're talking my business. I don't need enemy. If you're doing that to me, saying you have my back, but you eating me like shark. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. Life is hard. It's a struggle. I need someone I could talk to. You're telling me what people say. Only negative, but you're doing it the same way. I thought you was my dupes. You're kicking me with your boots. That's my deal, give and real. Praise God, I'm standing still. The money you borrow me, you're telling everybody the things I do for you. You forget to tell them to. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. They cut in on the both side. They cut in on the boat. Not everybody that laugh with you is your friend. Watch them. Hi. Razor, razor, cut in razor. Razor, razor, chop razor. Razor, razor, cut in razor. Razor, razor, chop razor. I don't want no razor blade. I don't need no razor blade. I don't want no razor blade. Them sharpen razor blade. I don't want no razor blade. I don't need no razor blade. I don't want no razor blade. Them sharpen razor blade. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. Some people is razor blade. Careful with them razor blade. I don't want no razor blade. I don't need no razor blade. I don't want no razor blade. Them sharpen razor blade.